joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. It's time for the Farm Report with Rainier's broadcaster, Rylee Pay. Rylee, how's it going?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. We're going to start with kind of an obvious place, but we got a lot to ask about some of these minor leaguers. But we're going to start with Logan Gilbert, obviously, what you saw with his most recent rehab start.
Yeah, Gilbert making his third start with us a couple days ago here against Sacramento, and I think everybody was really impressed and just thought immediately afterwards that's the Gilbert that you've been waiting to see, right? So he looks great again and put together a stretch where he had retired 13 straight. He had 5 scoreless innings to start for us, allowed just to hit. Walked 1 and struck out 6, but the lone hit within the early parts of that one, and then the walk didn't come until 2 outs in the later parts of his outing. So it was just really great stuff from him. It was very efficient, 72 pitches, 43 first strikes in that outing. And I think the thing that we noticed, too, is he was using his splitter a lot more this outing than the previous 2. So just good indicators of all the right things. And he really set the tone for us in that game and a really strong start from him.
Hey, Rylee, what's it like for you when you watch Dominic just tear up the diamond in Tacoma, and then he hits a bomb late in the game when he first gets called up? Are you like a proud parent, like watching your kid go out there and just step up to the plate and deliver?
Yeah, I think we're all really excited, especially looking from afar at AAA. You see what they are capable of there, and you see just what they've been putting together. And so when you see them come up in those big moments, it's really exciting to see. But you're also not surprised, because you've seen them do so well in AAA. And so it was one of those moments. I know we were, Andy and I, my broadcast partner at home was super excited for it, too. We were talking about it. That's the Canzone that we all know. So it was awesome to see and a really exciting day for him a few days ago.
Harry Ford with the Grand Slam, 6 RBIs on Wednesday. We get a lot of questions, Rylee, and you won't be surprised to hear this from people going, when can Harry Ford come up? Because there's a lot of excitement around him. So this is kind of a twofold compliment sandwich type question when it comes to Harry. You get to see him way more than we do and analyze his play. I'd love to hear just where you're especially impressed with his development so far, and where, when you look at him or when you talk to folks and you guys kind of analyze him, you think, oh, I'd love to see him continue to grow here.
I think top to bottom, he has put together a really solid season, especially in the last month alone. When you look at his May numbers, that alone got him co-hitter of the month honors, and he hit 411 in the month of May. So that just speaks for itself, the way that he has just been able to really hit his stride in the last month alone and put together a really strong season. But I think the thing that sticks out is you're seeing both the power and the patience. So the Grand Slam yesterday, he's come up in huge spots for us and continues to do really well with runners in scoring position. The power has been on full display. He's got 7 home runs right now, but he's also extremely patient. He's amongst the minor league lead in walks, especially for catchers, and just what he's been able to do. You haven't noticed any differences when you're kind of looking at the jump to AAA. And I talked to him a few weeks ago, just asking about that, how he's able to maintain his patience at the plate, and he really hasn't let that get to him, and he's just continued that same approach that he has for his entire career. So I think there's so many things about his game that really stick out. You got the speed, the power, and the patience, and so you're seeing it translate in the numbers. He's hitting 310 for us as well right now, and just continues to be very consistent. He reaches base nearly every game, all but 3 so far in the 48 that he's played. So it's just impressive what he's been doing, and he's been doing it very consistently all season.
Everyone is excited about Harry Ford, obviously, but is there a name that maybe isn't as popular as Harry Ford that you feel people should get to know?
There's a couple that have been really putting together. We talked about it, Spencer Packer, a silent but great season. He is just always reaches base. He reaches base over 500 in the last month alone, and another just great quality hitter. We talked to John Russell a couple days ago about him, and he even described it as that you just always know that you're going to get quality at-bats from Spencer Packard, and you're seeing the results translate in the last month. But him, I think Ryland Thomas is another one who has really stuck out. He's been great in the leadoff spot for us, and he rarely, if ever, strikes out. And that's put him atop several leaderboards in that category. He's just very patient, but maintains the same approach and has been really strong in that regard. Also defensively, he's a ton of fun to watch in right field. He makes a lot of really tough plays look really easy. So those two, I think, stick out. Also, Seren Lau, from a pitching standpoint, in the last really the entire season, though, we've been talking about him. He has just really put together a lot of great numbers, and he's been very consistent. You know that you're going to get something great from him every time that he goes out there. And there was a stretch a couple weeks ago in El Paso where he carried a perfect game throughout his start as well. So it was just, it's been consistent from him. I think he's really stuck out, and then Thomas and Packard as well.
Rainiers in the middle of an unprecedented 24-game homestand. And Rylee, normally in your mind, you're like, well, homestand, great. There's a bit of an advantage there playing in a park you're familiar with. But that is a lot of games. What's it like prepping for that? What's it like being in the middle of it?
You know, I think we were all excited, just the uncharted territory of it. I think, especially this week, because Sacramento's in town, but they're technically playing as the home team. So we're batting first for this series, which has been interesting in that regard. But as far as the prep goes, from our standpoint and like broadcast and the players, I think you're still playing those games anyways, whether it's home or on the road. So it is really nice to be able to just have the consistency of being home, I will say, and just having a little bit more of an easy routine in that way instead of living on the road. But it has definitely been interesting territory, and we're taking it one day at a time. I think that's the mantra of this 4-week stretch.
I love game day at the ballpark. Obviously, been to T-Mobile a bunch of times, but I haven't been down to Tacoma. What's the best thing about game day down in Tacoma?
It's great. I completely unbiased opinion too, but I've been really impressed by just the atmosphere of every game day. The fans continue to show up every single night. It's just got a great energy about it, and the fans are really engaged. I think that's something that always sticks out is throughout the game, they're engaged with the different promotions and things going on. They dance with the crowd and the fun squad. And so it's just a crowd that has a ton of energy and life to it, and they're really invested in the team as well. Logan Evans, early on this season, talking to him, he mentioned it too, that these are just fans that understand the game pretty well too. So they know and are invested in what's going on the field and the different players that are coming through here, but they're also just great fans and just really bring a great liveliness to it every day, and you definitely feel that.
I've heard like random stories with a couple different teams about like a big leaguer doing a rehab start, buys everyone dinner, or does something really cool. Is that something that actually happens often, and has Logan done anything?
This is funny you ask. Andy and I were talking about it a few days ago that we needed to get to the bottom of the post-game spread and see what it is. So I don't have any official reports on a Gilbert spread just yet, but it is something that I've seen in the last couple of seasons, being with the Red Sox for a handful of years. Liam Hendricks is great about it. He would get food trucks for both teams even during his rehab stints. And so I think that's always one of the coolest parts, and you feel that across the minor leagues. But definitely we're going to figure out the Gilbert situation, and I have no doubt that it's probably a great story too.
Oh my God, please tell us if you find out. I've been wondering the whole time, like, not only because if you hear about like some big spread, it might mean like, oh, Logan could be coming up here soon, but also I've just always wondered, like, It seems like such a nice thing. I'm like, Rylee's going to get to the bottom of it. I just know it.
It's a good indicator of character, I would say.
Yes.
Or the different personality types. You can tell a lot. A couple in Boston, too. You got barbecue from the guys from the South. And so, you can tell a lot about the spread for sure.
Rainiers broadcaster Rylee Pay, kind enough to join us for the Farm Report. Thanks, Rylee.
Thanks, Rylee.